In today's story, we finally get the start of the Battle City Finals. Being an honorable tournament host, surely Seto Kaiba will make sure all the participants arrive before starting, right? Right?
Ah, funny.
Make a WWE-like style entrance into the arena, all my fellow feature outlaws. This is his card game First Humanity, and I'm that NKK Double G. Back with another recap of Duel Monsters, a show where no one can hold themselves back from cackling like an idiot every 5 seconds. So as per usual, if you enjoyed, don't forget that sub, that bell, that like, hit up the Patreon if you want to support me. Leave a comment telling me, just like Kaiba, if you'd forgive someone for trying to capture and possibly murder your brother, as long as you got the card from them that you really, really wanted. Just like the writers wanted the recap to have no mention of Jean-Claude, and he was such an important pit stop to take on the way to the giant stadium where Seto Kaiba has already arrived. Waiting for his competition, if you can call them that, little does he know American Odeon are already in the bleachers smoking weed.
Go turn on the lights. I thought I heard something.
I know it may look like Merrick just couldn't contain his normal hyper-loud witch cackle, but I promise you Odeon is just secretly really good at telling dirty jokes. Kaiba turns on 500 high-power lights as he senses the disturbance. Clearly the gang has arrived. Also Duke is there for some reason. Just like anyone who played video games before DLC was invented, the gang wonders why this place is still under construction and seems very unfinished. I guess it just slipped Kaiba's mind. Here's some very important keycards for you all to get around this empty stadium. Security is very tight, and even though there's maybe like 10 of you, I'm definitely going to forget all of your faces if you don't have this very important key card. Expecting the other 4 shortly, all of a sudden the wind begins to pick up as someone else is making their entrance. Not really sure how they just got stage effects like that to happen, but this person must seriously have some edge.
You think you know me?
You think you know him? All he needed was some smoke and a large duster, and that's Ed. And Joey walk up to him, immediately recognizing that that's Namu, the friendly stranger who saved Bakura. Someone who Teo really still wants to sleep with, and someone who Joey doesn't seem to trust anymore. I don't know, maybe it has something to do with the fact that you constantly had his voice that he barely changed at all in your head, constantly telling you to kill your best friend. Namu says ever since they ran into them, he's been winning every duel, which should be an instant red flag. But unfortunately, Teo is still under his control, not because of the Millennium Rod, but just because she's still massively turned on by his beautiful brown body.
Maybe he's not so bad after all. What do I know?
Oh, Joey, I'll give you the same 3 words of advice I'd give my 5-year-old self on the day that I met my stepdad. Give it time. It's that, the wind is blowing. Someone else must be arriving. Yes, I was right. This time it's Bakura, who shocks everyone because the last time they saw him, he had a serious boo-boo. Could he be okay and have a duel this, they wonder? How else could he win 6 locator cards and enter the finals, he says. I mean, that checks out. Yugi doesn't believe for a second that Bakura recovered so quickly, so naturally let's have a flashback about it before the wind starts to pick up. Someone else must be coming. That someone being this tall, shadowy figure in a robe that Joey swears he's seen before. Getting his name is Merrick, Joey instantly threatens him as if he's gonna beat up someone 2.5 times his size, although if he spars with Tristan, yeah, he probably could do it. I mean, the only reason he's not doing it right now is because he's saving up all his energy to play a children's trading card game. Kaiba then says a line that I'm 99% sure I've heard word for word used in a WWE storyline before.
I should disqualify you right now for capturing my little brother.
Since this is a very prestigious tournament and only 7 of the 8 people are here, let's start the exposition, shall we? The final should be arriving soon. Oh yes, here they are, on this huge blimp that was just hiding behind the stadium waiting for the right moment. Dueling 4,000 feet in the sky, Mokuba is way too excited to tell everyone to get on the blimp and start the final. And according to Kaiba, supposedly will take off when the 8th person arrives.
Aw, yeah, baby. I'm kicking butt on a blimp.
So is that some sort of like goal in life? I mean, blimps are like a 6 out of 10 at best in terms of cool ways to travel. Just kind of lame. The suits try and stop the cheerleaders from getting on board the blimp, but Serenity starts crying because of course you can't go more than about 5 minutes without doing so. Doesn't Kaiba decide to just let them all on board because we're taking off right away? The 3 god cards are here. Fuck the 8th duelist. I'm an honorable host. They decide to follow his orders, but oh shit, I think the wind is blowing. Someone else must be coming. Yes, it's a Shizu who magically has a duel disc despite not being entered into the tournament, as well as 6 locator cards that she definitely didn't take from Jean-Claude, who was still in the fetal position a few blocks back. This massive freaking blimp takes off and reaches 4,000 feet in about 3 seconds because of course it does. Serenity thanks Joey for bringing her with him despite almost leaving her behind.
And the last time I checked, monkeys can't fly.
Okay, am I just supposed to believe that Kaiba hasn't seen 1 episode of Dragon Ball? Dragon Ball? Bitch, don't play. Kaiba has some advice for Yugi that he better start using Slifer in his duels or he has absolutely no chance to win. Once he has all 3 cards in his deck, he'll be completely unbeatable because Konami/Pegasus will never, ever release better cards, better monsters, or just Nope, they never get better. Thanks to the very important ID cards on this blimp may be full of 10 people, everyone goes to their assigned rooms so Joey and Serenity can have some more crying time together.
I think Yugi's room is bigger.
He's not talking about his room. The rest of the freeloaders, I mean Joey's friends, rate everything he has to his name, including this cheese in the fridge that's apparently very rare to find. And if he's talking about black diamond, white sharp cheddar from the heart of Nebraska, then I really want to be on that blimp right now. I seriously do miss it. Since he's had 2 drinks, Tristan is totally hammered already, making the grossest face ever. Deciding now is a good time to try and hit on Serenity and ask her to go to the freezing cold, windy balcony together. Unfortunately for him, Duke does not respect the bro code, literally pushing him aside with one arm so he can use the same idea on her. This makes Tristan super sad, then he instantly pulls a Merrick by going over to Joey to start consoling him. He says thanks, buddy, for not sleeping with Serenity while I was off trying to murder the rest of our friends. Bull and then this lesser goon make the tragic mistake of trying to tell Kaiba that the 8th duelist has arrived, something that's already happened hours ago and they had plenty of chances to do so. Quickly being reprimanded by Mokuba, who says that he wouldn't be surprised if their boss fired them for interrupting him while he was trying to play with his children's trading cards.
I may have missed out on winning the
Why is that white? Why is that white? Out of all the colors you could have made that fruit juice, you made it white. Do I even have to say anything? Why did you make it white? Merrick monologues to himself because that's what we need more of, a vague plan explanation of something that we've all heard 1,000 times anyway. Seriously, I'm starting to hate Merrick. Also, I love how they never explain how his control over Taya never broke. Guess Yugi's gonna have to duel Taya too. Speaking of Yugi, we head back to his room where he's committing a serious violation by literally bending his cards as he decides to put Slifer in his deck. Like he's the protagonist of the show. The king of games should be setting a better example. Tommy quickly appears to scold him properly before we head into another monologue about how the gods will clash in the final. If we're not on the winning side, it could mean the end of the world. No one really knows what that means if that happens, but it could be the end of it. Also, how was Bakura good already? That was weird. You don't remember? That's okay. Here's a flashback about it. You know, about Tristan throwing it off into the jungle and then it appearing around Bakura's neck within the span of an episode. You remember that?
You can't predict the path of a Millennium item.
As the one literally bound to one of them by destiny. Nolan screams over the intercom, demanding everyone head to the main office to decide the roles for the tourney. Ending the episode with Yugi doing an epic transformation because someone happened to mention the word dueling. Well, that's it for this episode. I want to thank you all for watching, and of course, a shout out to all my patrons. If you're wondering how do you get the wind to blow so you can have an epic entrance anytime you enter the room, I unfortunately still haven't figured it out yet. Well, besides farting. This has been the man from Worth with all the growth, ladies and gentlemen. Be the character you know you're worth. See you Friday. So as per usual, if you enjoyed, don't forget that sub, that bell, that like, hit up the Patreon. Joey and Taya immediately walk up. Joey and Taya. Yes, it's the Shizu. Yes, it's the Shizu who did. Yes, it's the Shizu. I hate her name. It's Shizu.